And well, in a major development during the monsoon session, Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar has put down his resignation. Now, according to sources, Dhankhar is firm and adamant that he will not reconsider his resignation. President Murmu has accepted his resignation. Prime Minister Modi has also lauded his service for the nation. Dhankhar resigned from the post of Vice President, citing health reasons. His resignation that is effective immediately, and he will not chair any Rajya Sabha session today. Moreover, he will not give any farewell speech in the Rajya Sabha. His resignation that has raised several eyebrows. Just 12 days ago, he had said that he would retire in August 2027 after completing his full term. He also stated that the only thing that could stop him from completing his tenure early would be divine intervention. Yesterday, after holding meetings, Dhankhar had planned meetings even for today. But the chaos allegedly erupted after his last meeting that happened at 6 p.m. In the evening, some BJP MPs were seen rushing to Rajnath Singh's office and claimed that they were made to sign blank papers. Shortly after that, at 9:25 p.m., Dhankhar surprisingly resigned. India Today spoke exclusively to Akhilesh Prasad Singh, the last Congress MP to meet Vice President Dhankhar, and he said Dhankhar showed no signs of resignation and appeared to be in good health.
Please. No, you may retire. I will retire at the right time. August 2027. Subject to divine intervention.
The Ministry of Home Affairs, word notification at 22/7/25 has conveyed the resignation of Vice President of India, Shri Jagdeep Dhankhar, under Article 67A of the Constitution with immediate effect.
अखिलेश जी, आपने कल आप चेयरमैन साहब से मुलाकात आपने की, क्या आपकी बातचीत हुई और क्या लगा कि क्या ये आखिरी बार होगा बतौर चेयरमैन आप उनसे बात कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं लगा। एज यूजुअल जैसे लोग मिलते हैं, और हमसे पहले से उनके चैम्बर में जयराम रमेश जी बैठे थे, प्रमोद तिवारी जी बैठे थे, और हम लोगों से जो यूजुअली जैसे वो मिलते हैं, सबसे अपनापन के किए से उनका मिलना जुलना होता है, सबको चाय पानी पूछते हैं। तो कल भी वही सब बात हो रही थी और अच्छे मूड में थे। ये भी मैं नहीं कह सकता कि थोड़ी भी तबीयत खराब जैसी कोई बात नहीं थी, और हम सबको अचंभा में डालने वाला ये समाचार है, और मुझे लगता है कि जरूर कुछ न कुछ और बात होगी।
क्या चर्चा हुई कि तबीयत को लेके विस्तार से बताइए कि क्या चर्चा हुई?
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं। वो जस्टिस वर्मा का केस जो लोकसभा राज्यसभा में 50 से ज्यादा सिग्नेचर जो हुए थे, उस सब पे चर्चा कर रहे थे। बाकी ऐसी कोई बात नहीं हुई। बाकी जो नॉर्मल बिजनेस का चर्चा करते हैं वही बात हो रही थी, कोई अलग बात हुई नहीं।
I am not going to speculate reasons as to why he has resigned. He has said that it is because of health reasons. So I don't want to speculate. But yes, I can say this, that he perhaps was one of the most proactive chairmen of the Rajya Sabha that we have seen over the years. And he would always persuade members on this side and that side to work with each other. For ultimately we work for the country. And he always advised us to do so.
And well, yesterday, Jagdeep Dhankhar caught unaware by admitting motion against Justice Verma.
I need to inform you that I have received notice of motion under Article 217 1B, read with Article 218 and Article 124, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution of India, along with Section 31B of the Judicial Inquiry Act 1968, to constitute a statutory committee for removal of Justice Yashwant Verma, Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Rajasthan, at Allahabad. This has been received by me today. It is signed by more than 50 members of the Council of States, and thus it meets the numerical requirement of signing by members of parliament for setting in motion a process for removal of a High Court judge.
Joining us on the phone line is Rajdeep Sardesai with more details. All right, I believe he's joining us live. Very good afternoon to you. First up, what are you picking up from your sources on what led to Jagdeep Dhankhar's resignation?
It is pure speculation at this moment as to what actually led to Jagdeep Dhankhar dramatically resigning at 9 p.m. last night. What is very clear is at 6 p.m. when a number of MPs met him, when there was earlier a Business Advisory Council meeting where significantly the Parliamentary Affairs Minister and the leader of the Treasury benches, JP Nadda, were not present. Mr. Dhankar showed no signs of resigning at all. In fact, I spoke to a few people in his office. They said his itinerary had been chalked out for the entire week. Mr. Dhankar is very peripatetic. He travels a lot, and there was a plan for him to not just be chairing the Rajya Sabha, but also possibly going on a weekend travel. He addresses a lot of gatherings. So there was no indication till at least 6 p.m. yesterday that Jagdeep Dhankhar would resign. Whatever has happened between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. in terms of making such a dramatic announcement. So I think that is the big question mark as to what changed in 3 hours. All kinds of speculation, whether this is part of a larger BJP, RSS power play, whether it is some statements that Mr. Dhankar had made, particularly on the judiciary and his stand he was taking on judicial corruption that had angered the government. So there are all kinds of statements being made or behind closed doors, but there is no confirmation as to what was the exact trigger. But something clearly changed in 3 hours yesterday between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. And some believe this was preemptive, that Mr. Dhankar feared that he could be eased out. So he decided to make the first move. Having said all that, his health was also a concern. Remember, just a few months ago, when he was in Nainital, he had complained of breathlessness, had to be hospitalized. Even earlier, there was another such instance of hospitalization. So his health has been a concern, but that surely was not the only reason that someone who appeared fit and well till 6 p.m. yesterday suddenly decides to resign at 9 p.m.
Oh yes, absolutely. While health was certainly a concern, but such an abrupt resignation that has also led to so many versions coming in from the opposition. And as much as the centre is trying to make it look like it is purely on health grounds that he has quit, but that is not making the opposition stop in any way.
Look, the opposition is also fishing in troubled waters. This is the same opposition which last year wanted to impeach Jagdeep Dhankhar, saying he wasn't a neutral umpire, that he was batting for the government, he was the government's mouthpiece. There is no love lost between the opposition, particularly the Congress party and Jagdeep Dhankhar. They believe that he was extremely unfair to the opposition in the Rajya Sabha and was batting for the government. So they are just fishing in troubled waters, trying to exploit what they believe are the growing divisions between the BJP and RSS in particular, raising questions of the manner in which the Modi government is now accused of use and throw politics. So they're playing their own politics here, the opposition. They're not here to do any favors to Jagdeep Dhankhar, to suddenly praise the same person that you were trying to impeach a year ago seems a tad hypocritical. So I don't lay much store by that. But I think there needs to be clarification as to why such a senior constitutional figure chooses to resign so abruptly on the first day of the monsoon session. And the opacity makes all this speculation grow. Why would someone do something unprecedented like this, particularly someone like Mr. Dhankar, who's been known to be ambitious, who had one eye clearly on Rashtrapati Bhavan, was hoping to move from vice presidentship to Rashtrapati Bhavan by all accounts? Why would someone like that suddenly overnight choose to resign on health reasons? Was his health so serious? certainly in the morning yesterday when he was conducting the proceedings of the Rajya Sabha, that didn't seem to be the case. There was a planned BSc meeting and an itinerary was being chalked out. So yes, there are lots of questions. I wouldn't raise, I don't think the opposition is doing it out of any great love for Mr. Dhankar. But at the same time, I think the government needs to come out clean as to what is, in some way, the backstory that led to a vice president resigning in this manner, beyond just the official reason of health grounds.
Expecting a concrete clarification in the days to come?
I would rather doubt it. I don't think the government, in fact, from what I gather, the government is moving along to now look for a replacement. Lots of names again doing the rounds, no confirmation with the Modi government. They hold their cards very close to the chest. But the government would like to complete the entire process, we are told, if possible, by as early as August 15, Independence Day. This parliament session goes on till the 21st of August. But certainly before the end of the parliament session, the government wants to bring in a new vice president. So the government is giving the impression that all is well, that this is a minor blip. The opposition, on the other hand, is trying to suggest that there is some power play in the background. The truth may well lie somewhere in between. But clearly the government is looking for a number of options. Senior BJP leaders' names are being mentioned primarily because as we've seen with in the past with Venkaiah Naidu becoming vice president in 2015, this government likes to reward those who they see first are their hardcore supporters when it comes to constitutional positions like president and vice president.
Rajdeep, I request you to stay on with us. Let's quickly put our details and responses coming over the politics that is playing out over Dhankar's resignation. BJP and opposition clash over Dhankar's sudden resignation. Congress claims that Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation goes beyond his health reasons, citing his strong views on post-2014 India farmers' issues and judicial accountability. Jairam Ramesh said that Dhankar chaired the BAC at 12:30 p.m. on Monday with Nadda and Rijiju present. The panel reconvened at 4:30 p.m. but both ministers were absent. Dhankar then rescheduled the meet. The Congress alleges that there is something serious that has occurred in this gap and urged Prime Minister Modi to persuade Dhankar to reconsider. JP Nadda responded saying that he and Rijiju had skipped the 4:30 meet due to urgent housework and the Vice President's office was informed. He added his on-record remark in Rajya Sabha was aimed at interrupting MPs, not the chair. BJP MP Nishikant Dubey accused the opposition of double standards, wanting Dhankar removed earlier, now politicizing his resignation.
ऐसा तो नहीं कि राज्यसभा में सिर्फ विपक्ष का ये नोटिस एडमिट हो गया और उसको लेकर भी सरकार काफी सेंसिटिव थी क्योंकि लोकसभा में सत्ता पक्ष और विपक्ष दोनों थे। आप लोग ने गुगली चल दी राज्यसभा में। ये
सच नहीं है। वहाँ भी सेक्रेटरी जनरल को हम लोगों के सामने बुला के कह रहे थे कि पता करिए कि लोकसभा में आया है कि नहीं आया है, और जब तक लोकसभा में नहीं आता तब तक उस पर वो आगे बढ़ने को तैयार नहीं थे।
ये भी बताया जा रहा है कि 4/7 पे धनखड़ साहब ने राज्यसभा में लाइव टेलीकास्ट भी हो रहा था, उसमें ये सूचित किया कि ये एडमिट नोटिस आया है, लोकसभा में भी आया है, मेघवाल साहब से भी पूछते हैं और आगे की प्रक्रिया की बात।
हाँ, तो यही बात कर रहे थे उस समय भी, हम लोगों के सामने भी उन्होंने यही बात कही कि लोकसभा में और ये होता है सो मीटिंग जरूर चेयरमैन के यहाँ होता है, कोई भी इस तरह की मीटिंग, तो पहले लोकसभा में आया कि नहीं आया खुद सेक्रेटरी जनरल को बुला के हम लोग के सामने ही पूछ रहे थे।
सरकार से कुछ तनाव की बातचीत या कोई बात जिसको लेके आपको लगता है टेंशन बनी हो?
मतलब उसकी जानकारी नहीं है, लेकिन हम आपके चैनल के माध्यम से जरूर आग्रह करेंगे प्रधानमंत्री जी को इंटरवेन करना चाहिए और उनको पद पर बने रहने को कहना चाहिए।
Rajdeep, I want to come back to you because like you mentioned previously that at one end the opposition wanted him impeached and called him the centre's mouthpiece. On the other, he also had disagreements with the centre itself on various issues. So which side was he really? And today that he's resigned, which is the happier side?
You know, I think one of the more interesting aspects of this is the stand that Jagdeep Dhankhar has taken vis-a-vis the judiciary. He was a senior Supreme Court lawyer himself before he became a politician. And on that issue, he has been speaking out, claiming there need to be limits to judicial intervention. He has been questioning the manner in which he claimed the judiciary is intervening in the parliamentary domain. He's been raising the issue of judicial corruption, and he's been taking on the Yashwant Verma case where cash was found at the door of a judge, and seemed to speedily move for impeachment of this judge, even while sitting on another impeachment motion that he had in the context of Justice Yadav, a judge of the Allahabad High Court, who was accused of making a hate speech. Now, here is therefore Jagdeep Dhankhar, former Supreme Court lawyer, pushing hard for impeachment, almost as that story also suggests, trying to push the proceedings even before the Lok Sabha has cleared a motion under the Judges Inquiry Act. So Jagdeep Dhankhar had made judicial corruption and questioning the so-called independence of judges, even the basic structure doctrine, as part of a lot of his public pronouncements, and that had led to some unease. What is Jagdeep Dhankhar up to? Is he brewing for a clash with the judiciary? And some of the statements he's also, of course, earlier made on the farmers' issues, again, seemed to embarrass the government. But by and large, here was a constitutional figure who batted openly for the Modi government on a variety of issues. Till a couple of days ago, he was celebrating and praising Operation Sindoor and the manner in which the Modi government had responded to Pakistan. So the judicial issue is the one issue on which there seems to have been some kind of tension between possibly elements in the government and Mr. Dhankhar. But again, were they of the level that they would lead to resignation? Was there some trigger point? Was there some clash that took place behind closed doors between Vice President and some seniors in the government? We don't know. And I think, therefore, all this is pure speculation until Mr. Dhankhar or someone in the government clears the air. Mr. Dhankhar has been often known to be a very voluble individual, whether as governor of West Bengal or whether as vice president. He's not someone who holds back his punches. So one would expect at some stage Mr. Dhankhar to speak out. You will recall that the likes of a Satyapal Malik, a former governor, much after retirement, spoke out on various issues. Will Mr. Dhankhar maybe also speak out possibly on an executive judiciary clash at some stage? We don't know. And I think that the lack of knowledge, the lack of enough information is leading to speculation, which does no good really to a post of a constitutional figure like the vice president of the country, and also casts a shadow in a way on the functioning of the monsoon session of parliament.
Rajdeep, I understand there is a lack of information at this point, but also explain to our viewers and help them understand why this face-off would become that big, that it would lead to such a drastic step of Jagdeep Dhankhar's resignation. Also, in the days to come, do you see the fire as alive on this particular issue where the opposition is going to push for answers on this matter? Or do you think something else will take over, and especially a discussion on Operation Sindoor is what the opposition will focus on?
Look, I think while this is a story making the headlines today, this government has been very good at the politics of distraction and deflection and moving on. So by next week, if there is this full debate on Operation Sindoor, 16 hours in the Lok Sabha, 9 hours in the Rajya Sabha, maybe Mr. Dhankhar will only become a footnote since he won't be chairing that debate. It will now be up to Mr. Dhankhar. Does he want to come out in the open and go beyond just the statement he has given to explain what was the real reason, what was the real trigger for his exit? The government will hope that Mr. Dhankhar will maintain his silence. If he does, then I think the issue will blow over. If Mr. Dhankhar chooses to speak out, then yes, the fire will continue to burn and the opposition will try and fish in troubled waters. But the Modi government has been very good in the past at handling any such potential mini explosion. And I'm sure that they will make every effort to control the media narrative in the next few days and make it out to be that this was really about health and not about any extraneous reasons, as the opposition is pointing out. So all eyes will be on Jagdeep Dhankhar. Does he want to now come out in the public and speak out more on issues like the state of the judiciary, impeachment proceedings against the judges, or does he hold his silence now and thereby allow this issue to blow over?
All right, Rajdeep, we keep a very close eye on what happens next. Certainly very interesting. A turn of events that have happened since yesterday, and rather intriguing that he suddenly put down his resignation. Rajdeep, purely from an outside point of view, the fact that it has been so abrupt, He's not being allowed to give his farewell speech. And he's saying that I will not even reconsider my resignation. He's adamant on that front. It must have been something very drastic.
Well, reconsidering resignation, I guess he was never intending to do so once he had put out that letter. You don't really reconsider your resignation, but you're right. Not giving a farewell speech or not having a farewell function for someone like Mr. Dhankar who enjoys the limelight is a bit surprising. So, it seems that he's going out in a fit of pique, that he's going out not happily. And the government also seems to have been taken a bit by surprise by the sudden resignation. I mean, the idea that he won't even be given the dignity of a farewell in any kind does seem a bit surprising. Harivansh, the vice chair of the Rajya Sabha, a former journalist, has taken over. He's originally from the JDU, and his name is among the many floating to replace Mr. Dhankar. But that it should all happen in this manner where Mr. Dhankar is larger than life one day and has completely disappeared from public view the next, will again lead to more tongues wagging. Why was he not given perhaps a more dignified farewell, if at all it had been decided that he would go on health grounds?
Completely agree. Rajdeep, I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon.